One day, in the mid-afternoon, I heard a hard knock on my front door. A voice on the other side shouted, "Open up! This is the police!" Obviously, I was confused, but I hadn't done anything wrong, so what was I to fear? I walked over to the front door and pulled it open. 4 police officers stood on my front porch with guns pointed directly at me. "Get on the floor! Put your hands behind your head!" They started listing off the Miranda rights as they shackled my hands behind my back. The next thing I knew, I was in the backseat of a squad car headed towards the police station. But just one thing didn't belong. Me. I was innocent. I did nothing wrong. I kept trying to inform the officers that they had made a mistake, but they wouldn't listen to me. They got angrier with every time I opened my mouth, and they threatened to hurt me if I kept talking. I was so scared. When we got to the police station, lots of people were there. Most of them were looking at me with disgust, even though I've never seen them before. They verbally mocked me. They spat on me. It's like they thought I was some kind of animal. I'm just a regular person. I'm a good person. No one wanted to listen to me. They just kept yelling those horrible obscenities at me. They're charging me with a crime. How could they? They should know better. As officers and workers of the government, they should know that I do not deserve to be here. Their job is to carry out the law, and they are failing. All of them! Right now, I should be at home, reading the newspaper, watching TV, or eating dinner, but instead, my wrists are cuffed together, and I'm waiting in a cold, dark cell. This is the last place I should be. Those damn cops. They don't know anything. They only see what they want to see. They don't see the full picture. They never will. The only thing they saw when they walked into that room was me and her. But you know what they didn't see? They didn't see her walk into that restaurant in that gorgeous red dress, which was way too high above her knees. They didn't see how she smiled at me when she first saw me sitting at that table. She sat with me and talked with me like we were the old friends. No one had ever done that to me before. I tried to focus on our conversation, but that dress kept distracting my eye. It was as if my eyes were flies and they constantly got drawn to her bright, glowing gown. It flowed so elegantly. It was far too scandalous to be worn on a first date. No, I had to stay engaged in our conversation. She seemed like a very intellectual person. She was very well-read. Well-read. Gosh, that red dress! She had tempted me too much. Her cunning beauty had weakened me. I reached out. And the world became a blur. The police only saw me and her. They didn't see anything else. They didn't see her scream at the top of her lungs in the middle of a crowded restaurant. They didn't see her smack me across the face with her handbag. They didn't see her splash a glass of water on my face. They didn't see her when she said all those horrible things to me. "You stay away from me, you perverted cow! If you come anywhere near me, I'll kill you, you sick bastard!" She completely overreacted. She had no right to act that way, especially since she's the one who tempted me. It's her fault, not mine. I'm not the one to blame. I did nothing wrong. She made me feel so special. She made me feel like someone loved me. Even if it was just for a moment, she made me feel like I belonged. Then she took it away. She ruined everything. She doesn't deserve anything. The cops didn't see her storm out of the restaurant, leaving me in a messy puddle on the floor, alone. They didn't see that she started to walk back home. They didn't see that I followed her. I kept a large distance between us. I was careful so she wouldn't notice I was there. They didn't see her when she entered her house. She seemed as though in a matter of minutes she had completely forgotten about the whole situation. About me. They didn't see me standing outside her on her back patio, waiting for hours. I could hear her inside. She was talking to her friend on the phone about what a horrible night she had. She blabbed on and on about how I ruined her night. She's a liar. I hate her. She ruined my life. They didn't see me sneak into her basement through an open window well. They didn't see me creep upstairs to her bedroom in pitch darkness. They didn't see her the way I saw her. She was sprawled out under the sheets. Well, it certainly didn't look like her night had gotten ruined. She seemed perfectly fine and comfortable the way she was. Only then, as she lay there in bed, could I see her true identity. She may look pretty and all on the outside, but on the inside, she's the ugliest person I've ever known. Her heart was decaying faster by the minute. Her soul was already burning in hell. They didn't see me walk into the bathroom and take the tank cover off the toilet. I walked back over to her bedside, and I just looked down at her. She was fast asleep, but probably dreaming about the next guy whose life she could ruin. I hated her. I lifted the tank cover above my head and swung it down. It didn't kill her. She woke up, and she was understandably startled and in pain. I swung again, but I missed. She leaped on me and started punching me in the side. She was yelling at me again, but her words couldn't hurt me now. Not ever again. I lifted her by the neck, her feet lifted up off the floor. She tried to speak, but my hands were blocking her windpipe. With one final thrust, I threw her headfirst against the wall and that was it. That was it. Everything blurred again. When the world became clear again, I was still in her room. She was lying on the floor, and her eyes were wide open and staring at the ceiling. Her head had a large crater on it on both sides. There was a large pool of blood spilling from her cranium, and it was slowly growing bigger. The tank cover was covered with red. The wall had a hole with a deep red stain on it, and that's the only thing the police saw. Me and her. I am not guilty. I am a good person. I did nothing wrong. She is the reason all this happened. She did this to herself. The cops don't care. All they care about is what they saw. And what they saw was a room with 2 people in it. And only one of them was alive. The only good thing that came from it was that when the cops came into that room, saw her rotting corpse laying in the middle of the room, they could finally see how ugly she truly was.